What is going on, everyone? Luke Rosano here, back with another video. Just finished doing the live stream for this game. It was an incredible game. It was a fun playoff vibe type of game as the Toronto Raptors open up the 2022-2023 season with a win. Yes, Raptors basketball is back with a bang. The Raptors beat the Cavs 108-105. And this Raptors team beat a pretty darn good Cavaliers team. A lot of people picked this Cavs team to be better than the Raptors going into this season. They made that big trade to get Donovan Mitchell, and Donovan Mitchell had an impressive Cavaliers debut tonight. He had 31 points, 9 assists, 2 steals, and he was getting his. But the Raptors were able to win this battle. This was an incredible, highly entertaining back and forth game, and it looked like the Raptors at times were going to lose this game, especially going into the fourth quarter when the Raptors were down by 8. But this Raptors team proved that they are going to be better than they were a season ago. They outscored the Cavaliers 32-21 in that fourth quarter. They overcome that 8-point deficit going into the fourth. They played tremendous defense. They came out guns a-blazing from three-point land. They hit like 3 straight triples. And they did something in this game, which is what great teams do. They closed it out. Raptors with tremendous late game execution, and they get this win. Now, there's going to be a lot of things they got to work on. They didn't make as many free throws as you would have liked in a game like this. But overall, considering how the Raptors played in this one, they're able to get a win, and they didn't even play their best basketball. They did shoot 42% from the field. They were 43% from 3, which was good to see because we know this team was not a good three-point shooting team in the preseason. That was actually one of the major concerns I had about this team going into the season. And also, the Cavaliers dominated the points in the paint, but the Raptors were still able to get this win. Pascal Siakam had 23 points, 11 rebounds, 3 steals. He played like a man on a mission. You look at Gary Trent Jr., he had 19 points on 5 of 12 shooting. OG Anunoby had that magnificent, epic block in the third quarter, 18, 7, and 5 on 5 of 12 from the field. And I said this was going to be a big year for OG to really cement himself on this team, and the Raptors are going to need OG at his best if they want to take that leap. Fred VanVleet had 15 on 4 of 9 shooting. Scotty Barnes was 7 of 14 from the field, had a little bit of a slow start to this game. You could tell he was frustrated, especially with some of the foul calls that were called on him. But overall, he had 15, 3, and 7, and I liked when I saw Scotty be aggressive. That's the type of Scotty Barnes I want to see. Scotty Barnes showed us as well that he was comfortable with the ball, handling the ball, and I'm excited to see Scotty Barnes have a lot more ISO opportunities and being able to get that shot off along with getting to the basket and attacking, being aggressive. And then I also want to talk about Christian Koloko. Christian Koloko, to me, had a very solid debut. Now, you could look at 1 of 4 from the field for Christian Koloko, but it's the 6 rebounds. It's the block shot that stands out to me. Christian Koloko was a wall in the paint. This is a guy who was brought in, drafted by the Raptors, to be a guy who is going to alter a lot of shots. You could tell that the Cavaliers were mindful anytime they saw Koloko in the paint. This is not a dude you're going to get easy buckets against. He's going to make you work if you come inside and if you come at him. So I really liked what I saw from Koloko. This is one of those talents that is only going to get better with time with this Toronto Raptors team. Precious Achiuwa had 10 points on 4 of 11 shooting. When Precious plays calmly, when he plays at a slower pace, he makes better decisions. So I want to see Precious be more of that slow-paced decision maker because good things happen for him when he takes his time. But overall, I think this is going to be a big season for Precious. I've said it many times. I'll say it again. He is my sleeper pick to win the Most Improved Player of the Year. Now, I know that agenda might not look strong after this first game, but I'm definitely not giving up on Precious Achiuwa. But what impressed me the most about this Raptors win was the Raptors bent on multiple occasions, but they did not break. And they bent a lot in that second quarter when the Cavaliers outscored the Raptors 35-23, and then the Cavaliers had that 8-point lead going into the fourth. And there you are thinking, are the Cavaliers going to run away to a win here? I mean, at that point of the game, Donovan Mitchell is getting his. Other role players on this team are making their shots. But the way the Raptors started this fourth was winning basketball. They won the minutes in which Donovan Mitchell was on the bench. They hit their shots, and their defense was stifling. Nobody could get an easy bucket on this team. And when Mitchell came back from off the bench, he wasn't the same Donovan Mitchell who was dominating before that. The Raptors were making guys earn their points in that fourth quarter. And it was their defense that generated a lot of their offense on the fast break and allowed the Raptors to close this game out. So this is a big win for the Raptors. You know a lot of people had this Cavs team ahead of you. You know a lot of people were talking about this Cavs team ahead of you. The fact that the Raptors were able to win this one, to open up their season, a season in which they're going to have so many tough games to begin this thing. We talk about the gauntlet, the 7 games to begin their season. They got one out of the way. They got 6 left to survive this first part of the season. You beat a very good Cavaliers team. Now, for people who are going to say, oh, but if Garland played, things would have been different. You can't look at it like that, because then you can look at it the other way. The Raptors didn't have Ken Birch. The Raptors didn't have Otto Porter Jr., who I think is a guy who, as soon as he's added to this team, is going to open up the three-point shooting as a whole. They didn't have Chris Boucher. That was a lot of production off the table. So the Raptors were not at 100% either. They get the win. It was a satisfying win. And now it's on to the next on Friday when the Raptors take on the Brooklyn Nets. As my Brooklyn Nets NBA Finals agenda does not look good after one game, because the Nets got their ass kicked by the Pelicans. So I'm not going to lie. As I'm recording this podcast video, I feel pretty good going into that second game against the Brooklyn Nets. 2-0 looks very, very likely. But we're not going to think ahead. We're going to enjoy this one for what it was. What a difference this season home opener from last year's season home opener when the Raptors got wiped by the Washington Wizards. The Raptors in this game picked up from where they last left off in the playoffs when they battled back against the 76ers, showing us what they could be. It's going to be a fun season, guys. This is one game of many, and I think this is the start of what's truly going to be a wild Raptor season. So that is just my 2 cents on this game. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I'm back. Hit that like, hit the subscribe button. I'm doing live streams as well, so you definitely want to check that out. But that is it for me. This is Luca Rosano on the mic. Your support is always appreciated, and I'll catch you all again in the next video. Raps are 1-0.